Hi there, welcome back to the channel. If you don't already know, my name is Devansh. I'm the lead tutor at Finntutor. We hold the Global Pass Rate Excellence Award for 3 years in a row, which is only provided to tuition providers who meet a certain threshold in terms of student numbers and in terms of pass rates being higher than the CIMA global average. We have multiple rank holders who have studied with us across the OCS, MCS, SCS case study exams. And we are sure that our material will help you with a structured exam experience as long as it is followed. We provide the direction. Hard work, smart work is what we'll expect from your end. I welcome you to this pre-scene analysis video. This is part 1 of our pre-scene analysis where we'll run you through the introduction and the business case background for Ressett, the company which CIMA has released for the November 2025 and February 2026 management or gateway case study exam. See, even if you are from the FLP route, you are from the exemptions route, or you are from the traditional route, the exam is going to be the same for everybody. So whatever route you are from, this pre-scene analysis will form the spine, the backbone of your case study preparation. And the way we create it is very unique because part 1, like I said, is going to be intro and business case. Part 2 is the details of the business, and part 3 is the detailed financial analysis. And while doing this, we will help you pick up E2, P2 and F2 core areas. E2, P2 and F2 important topics, narrowing your revision focus to the major topics so that we know, okay, these topics I should revise from E2, P2 and F2 as important ones. And then we give mock questions on those topics, exactly exam styled, individually marked by our tutors to help you develop skills which are most important for this exam. And this is foolproof preparation. So this pre-scene analysis you're going to find incredibly helpful, helping you understand the company plus pointing out important E2, P2 and F2 topics. Before moving on, we have a free mini course which gives you an intro to the blueprint explanations, to top issues, to a free mock with personalized marking, a study plan. All of this is included within the free mini course. The link is in the description below. Just click on it, try it out. It's free. It's definitely going to be helpful in your preparation because we have curated it specifically for you. So while you watch this pre-scene analysis, get registered for the mini course and you get a whole bunch of bonus resources absolutely free, well laid out for you, helping you focus on different aspects of this exam. Because yes, if you're coming from the exemptions route, the FLP route, you're wondering what I should focus on. This mini course will definitely help you. The link is in the description below. Try it. Without further ado, let's start with pre-scene part 1 for Ressett. So let's start with the introduction now. Now, to make this entire pre-scene analysis, we have analyzed all CIMA past papers, all past pre-scenes, all student data that we have, all problems that students face that we have noted down over the past years. Everything combined, we have created a knowledge base. Using that knowledge base, we have analyzed this pre-scene for you, presenting the most relevant explanations, discussions, E2, P2, F2 relevances, which will 100% make your study much more concentrated, much more interactive, much more understandable, and then obviously giving you important E2, P2, F2 areas to revise, to study before we actually move to our mock question writing. Like I've always said, the case study is made of 3 pillars. 2 pillars I am doing with you through this very informative pre-scene where I'm guiding you on the most important technical topics to revise, where I'm helping you understand the Ressett computers, company. And third, mock question writing is what we'll take you to after these first two pillars are done, so that we can practice in the exact same format of the exam. We can give you our personalized markings and we can show you your weaknesses. You can learn, you can keep writing mocks, because we do the most number of mocks offered by any tuition provider with personalized marking. All of this will make sure your exam attempt is successful. For this pre-scene, you don't need to do anything except for tune into my video, concentrate on my video, concentrate on my explanations one by one, and read it or watch it like a movie, but paying close attention. One aspect I'll ask you to do as homework is keep a Word document or keep a piece of paper with you and write down the topics which I discuss. So if I'm discussing business model, write down topic number 1, business model. So you know, okay, I got to go back and revise this particular topic from E2 after the pre-scene explanation is done. So you would have understood the company, you would have had a solid list of topics which you then are focusing on, all of which combined is going to help you write great practice mock questions, all of which combined is then going to help you on a successful exam attempt. So this is not a one-time experiment that we are doing. This system has been working for years and it's now been even more reformed with this approach that we are taking this time. So let's start word by word by word. We'll consider every aspect of the pre-scene released by CIMA. We'll highlight the important areas for you, and then we'll relate the important areas for you to E, P and F topics, which if you note down, you will have a solid topic list with you at the end of this pre-scene, which will be all of these topics as your core revision areas. Those who are studying with me, I will obviously tell you how to use FinAI, which is our first AI in the full world, helping you, understand concepts from the CIMA knowledge bank, understand concepts from CIMA relevance, case study relevance. So we'll tell you how to use it at the right moment, but the topic list nonetheless is going to help you focus on important areas. So let's start. Ressett buys new and used personal computers and related products for resale to individuals, corporate and public sector customers. Now those who have done my industry analysis will already know what the market of new and used personal computers is like in the real world. Those who haven't done the industry analysis, the first recommendation I'll do is please watch the industry analysis. It will give you great insight into this market. So we buy new and used personal computers. So we have two channels: new computers being brought from manufacturers, used computers being brought from other sources, and then we sell it to individuals, corporates and public sector customers. It buys these in bulk and resells at prices that are significantly cheaper than the prices charged by conventional retailers for the latest brand new computers. So very clearly, this is my business model being laid out, where I bulk buy lower prices, showing a cost leadership approach. See, why would you buy a used personal computer? Or why would you buy a new computer from a different source? Because it's obviously going to offer you some cost advantages. One more aspect is that we trade with individuals, corporate large businesses and public sector customers as well, which means there are different stakeholders that we are dealing with. So stakeholder management will be important within this business. Very clearly, cost leadership. Bulk buying relies on an efficient supply chain. Remember that if you want to buy in bulk, you should have good contacts with your upstream supply chain. So supply chain management becomes very important, and this is also bringing in my risk aspect, because if I'm not able to source well, my quantity, the demand will not be met, and this is going to be causing revenue issues for my business. So you see, from just these first two paragraphs, we analyzed so much. We made sense of so many things from so many different EP avenues to give you just an insight of what this entire pre-scene is going to cover. So Ressett is based in Lamland. Lamland is a fictional country, doesn't exist, and the fictional currency is L dollars. Lamlandian company law requires companies to prepare financial statements in accordance to your IFRS. This very clearly means that you will have to have good solid F2 knowledge. Because if you don't have your F2 knowledge, how are you going to support in creation of these financial statements? One more thing is they've mentioned L dollars as the currency. Now obviously, if you will trade in a different currency, if you will have a subsidiary in a different currency, all of this is bringing in your currency risk, currency considerations, IAS 21 from the F2 syllabus. That is why it's very important to know, okay, my currency is L dollars. If you're doing something in another currency, your foreign exchange situation will come up. So you are the finance manager at Ressett's head office. You are given the role of a finance manager. See, I already told you that you will need F2 knowledge because you will have to support financial statement reporting in accordance with the IFRS. But a finance manager is expected to do a lot more. A finance manager helps with investment appraisal, costing, project management, long-term finance, advising top management, stakeholder management. All of the aspects that we dealt with above are related to your E2, P2 and F2 syllabus. So which clearly means that if you want to be a good finance manager, you will need to have great E2, P2 and F2 knowledge as the starting point. Nobody's asking you to learn everything that's there in E2, P2 and F2. No, we will give you our blueprint explanation document summarizing your study very, very much to the important areas. But then the important areas are areas that you should have knowledge of, so that you can start writing an answer in a better way. For example, if they tell you that, okay, we are going with an investment appraisal analysis of this particular project from the NPV zone. Now, if you don't know what the basic of NPV is, not how NPV is calculated and calculations of discount factors or anything like that, but if you don't know the basic NPV concept in your own words, you cannot start writing. So that is a revision tip that I'm giving over here. Any topic that you do, make sure you can explain that topic in 4-5 simple lines in your own words, in simple easy English. That is the requirement of this exam, not mugging things up. So okay, these host of things is what a finance manager is expected to do. So if you are a finance manager and if you don't have sound E2, P2 and F2 knowledge, especially on the core topics, core areas, then you can't fulfill the role of a finance manager, which means you can't fulfill your job of doing well on this exam if you don't have this background knowledge. So to be a good finance manager, E2, P2 and F2 revision is the place to start. I am already narrowing down your revision relating to E2, P2 and F2 topics at every step. So your primary responsibilities are associated with management accounting, and you report to James Tan, Senior Finance Manager, who reports directly to the Finance Director. So you are Finance Manager, above you is Senior Finance Manager, above him is Finance Director. So very clearly this is showing the organizational structure which is more like a formal structured setup with clear roles and responsibilities. You are finance manager, then comes senior finance manager, and then comes the finance director. Hierarchy is clearly present. This is from E2, organizational structure. That is why I'm pointing it out. Next, personal computers. So this was the introduction that we did. Just from the introduction, I hope you have listed down 1. Business model, 2. Stakeholder management, 3. Supply chain. Major topics that I discuss, you should have written down. 4. Foreign currency. All of these are important topics which I'm listing down or discussing as and when we keep moving forward with the pre-scene. So make sure in your list you are noting them. Those who are studying with us, obviously, we will give you our own list. We'll tell you how to use the list in correspondence with FinAI to make your life very simple. But right now we are understanding our company, creating the list. So we're starting with personal computers. Now, personal computers are designed for individual use, as the name suggests. They are generally designed for operation by an end user who may have little or no training in computing. PCs are used in both commercial and domestic settings. In the workplace, PCs can be used for a variety of tasks, including word processing, presentations. In home, PCs may be used for games and for emails. So personal computers and their use is being spoken of. They can be used without any training at a commercial setting. They're used for presentations. At home, majorly for games and emails. So very clearly, I want to segment the market over here. As a business selling computers, I want to segment the market. My customers will be commercial use and domestic use. Let's be clear about that. So when I'm segmenting the market, using usage differences between commercial and home customers influence demand patterns and price sensitivity, affecting how companies use their pricing strategies. If you're selling to a commercial user, your pricing strategy will be different. If you're selling to a domestic user, your pricing strategy will be different. So by segmentation, your pricing strategy is becoming much more, let's say, understandable. In P2 itself, PCs have different functional uses, indicating products at various life cycle stages. If you think of the product life cycle, which impacts decisions on design upgrades, production volumes, cost planning. Deeper, we'll see the products that we offer, where they lie in the product life cycle. So I understand what to do with the product. Do I need to upgrade it? Do I need to produce it in volume? Do I need to control the cost? So over here I'm listing down market segmentation, pricing strategy, product life cycle, and leases. Why? Because in commercial environments, majorly what I saw was many businesses lease PCs instead of purchasing, requiring correct accounting treatment for lessees and for lessors, which is in your IFRS 16. Let's move on. The retail market for personal computers focuses on the following product types. We already know this from our industry analysis, but we are going to go through this. First is desktop computers. So a desktop consists of a system unit which uses the processor, data storage, and other components. Very standard. Let's keep the image of a desktop in our mind. These can be large devices that are intended to sit on or below the user's deck. They require a mains connection for the electrical power. Desktops are needing electrical power. We know that. Desktop computers are usually operated using a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse. These can be plugged into the system, or nowadays they are wirelessly connected as well. Desktops are ideally suited for users who need to spend extended periods at their PCs. Their job is not moving around. If you have to just sit and punch in data, PCs might work, or let's say desktops might work. Large monitors make it easy to read text or to study graphics. It is also possible to position monitors and keyboards so that the user can operate the PC in comfort. So more a desktop is like an office setup where you have to sit for hours, you have to look at graphics, you have a bigger screen. It's more comfortable. At home, desktops are mainly used for gaming. So again, your segmentation will define your pricing decision. Are you selling it to gamers? Are you selling it to somebody sitting in an office? That will set your pricing. The price that you set will depend a lot on the end user in this market. Next, we have laptops. So laptops are more portable than desktop PCs. Although they fulfill the same basic purpose. Purpose is the same. It's just that you can pick up the laptop and take it anywhere. Laptops have batteries that can be recharged by connecting them to the mains using a power adapter. They can also be operated on mains power as well. Some laptops are small and lightweight and can be carried easily. They can be used while commuting or taken on a business trip. Larger laptops are heavier and may not be convenient to carry, but obviously they will have a large screen, a better keyboard, so it's easier to operate. So with laptops, you'll always have the give and take, more portable, smaller, more easier to operate, larger. Users might choose larger laptops if they intend to use them primarily at home or at a desk. Laptops can be used for most tasks carried out on the desktop, although they offer less scope for arranging their screens and keyboards for user comfort, because obviously the desktop screen you can keep it at a distance, keyboard you can keep it near you. With laptop it becomes difficult, it's not that comfortable. For leisure purposes, their portability makes them suitable for watching streamed digital content, very important nowadays. Laptops rarely have sufficient processing power to enable them to play the latest video games, but this is also changing. So again, laptops meet different customer needs. This shows market segmentation within laptops as well. You can have a different group of customers. Like within desktops, you have different customers for commercial use, for gaming. Within laptops also, you have those who prefer smaller, those who prefer larger. Because this again will very much decide your pricing decision. So these topics are being repeated but with different perspectives. Now businesses and individuals have different price sensitivity. Important topic, sensitivity analysis, which impacts how companies position laptops in the market. Because when you are selling a refurbished product or a refurbished laptop in the market, you want to understand how sensitive your product is to changes in price. If price changes, what happens to the demand? That's sensitivity analysis. Or let's say if price changes, what happens to the NPV of a particular project? This is just an example that I'm giving. That's how sensitivity analysis can be tested in various scenarios, and I'll bring it up again as well. But over here I found it relevant, so we are discussing it. Next, we have tablet computers. From our industry analysis, we are very aware that mini PCs, thin PCs, is where the large growth is happening. So tablets are smaller and lighter than laptops. They are used mainly for reading files and accessing the internet. They are also battery powered. Tablets will vary in size. As with laptops, there is trade-off between portability and comfort. You can have larger screens but difficult to carry, heavier. You can have smaller screens, easier to carry. Tablets permit users to type text either through a touch screen or external keyboards can also be attached. They can also be used to stream digital entertainment. They are less powerful than laptops, so they are generally unsuitable for playing large games. Although specific games are now released which are made for tablets only, showcasing how popular tablets have become. You have specific software, specific games for tablets only. This only happens when there is a large audience. Tablets are less versatile than desktops and laptops, but they can have some applications in the workspace. For example, assistants in large shops can be equipped with tablets that use the shop Wi-Fi to check for availability. So this, if you didn't figure out yet, we did the introduction and then we pretty much started with an industry background they're giving you about what personal computers are. Because they know that, okay, you will have little knowledge about what personal computers industry will be like. So within the pre-scene itself, they're giving you an industry background, teaching you and telling you that personal computers include desktops, include laptops, include tablet computers, and it's to our advantage because it's helping us pinpoint important E2, P2, F2 revelations to the industry as a whole, where up until now we learned that segmentation, pricing strategy for each segment is going to be key. Same with tablets. This was a new innovation. This drove digital disruption, and this demonstrates how the business model changes. Earlier, we would be only selling desktops and laptops. If you're not selling tablet computers or tablets, which means that we in the refurbished market might be losing out, or in the new market might be losing out. So, tablets in personal versus business context illustrate value chain differences, because again, the value it delivers in a personal situation is different. The value it delivers in a let's say commercial perspective is also different. So that's with tablet computers. Now we have peripherals. A peripheral is essentially a device that can be connected to a PC. Personal computer, any device that can be connected to a personal computer is a peripheral. For example, monitor can be connected, your mouse can be connected, keyboard can be connected, printers can be connected, scanners, external hard drives, all of these are considered peripherals because they can be connected to a PC to expand its capabilities. Now, peripherals can be connected to PCs by cables. Desktops usually come with different types of sockets. Laptops have smaller cases, so they have usually fewer sockets. Tablets may only have one single socket. Some peripherals can be linked using wireless connections such as Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. There are now Wi-Fi mouses, Wi-Fi monitors, Wi-Fi printers, Wi-Fi scanners. So all of this is connected with a cable or it's connected by a Wi-Fi, but it's expanding the capability of your PC. Why is this important? Because again, remember, over here they're giving us the background of the personal computers market. So the background is being given, and later on when we start to speak about Ressett, we want to see which of these background products we are selling. Now, peripherals show how ecosystems form around core products. What is your core product? Desktop, PC or tablet. Around this, peripherals are key because they expand capabilities. It could be that maybe, let's say a situation can come up in the exam, just giving you a hypothetical situation, that the ecosystem of Ressett is now expanding. Now we are heading into manufacturing only peripherals because we see them as a value adding product and a fast growing segment. So firstly, we want to understand how this will affect our business model, 50%. Secondly, I want to make an analysis of whether this will be a profitable venture or not from the NPV aspect, 50%. Then they've given you an NPV table. This can be very simply an exam question. So here you will need knowledge of the business model, which we'll discuss deeper in the pre-scene. You will need knowledge of the industry, which we are going through right now, which you will have done in my industry analysis. You will need knowledge of typing, how to type, what to type, how much to type. All of that is going to come to you at the right time, at the right pace through the course. But understanding the company at its beginning and understanding why I'm making these E2, P2, F2 references for you is very, very, very important. Now coming to P2 topics. The need for compatibility between devices links to quality management practices. If you sell a product, let's say you are reselling some peripherals with refurbished laptops, but the quality of checking is not good, it will have a huge effect on your goodwill. So quality management within our business is going to be very, very important, especially because we are in the refurbished products market. A very important consideration is going to be IFRS 15. Now when companies bundle PCs with peripherals, let's say we are selling peripherals and PCs as a bundle, we must apply IFRS 15 carefully, splitting the revenue between the main product and the additional items sold. This can be a situation later on that, okay, we are offering a bundled product. According to IFRS 15, how will this be recorded? You will have to split it separately. You will have to see when the obligation is ending, when the revenue should be recognized. This is your IFRS 15 5-step revenue recognition rule. Very important to have revised it. Next, we are on consumables. Now, consumables are items that are used in operation of the computers and peripherals, like paper, ink cartridges for inkjet printers, toner for laser jet printers. Very clearly, we know over here that these are low value but high volume products. They are complementary goods which will lead to higher margins if sold properly. So deeper on, we want to figure out, are we selling peripherals? Are we selling consumables? If not, this can be a thing that we dip into to extend our growth, to extend our market positioning. And because we are a reseller, it will be very important for us to take into account the economic order quantity. How much of consumables to store, how much of peripherals to store, how much of laptops to buy, how many desktop PCs to buy and store in inventory before we sell them. So inventory management techniques are going to be key for our business, especially because we are a reseller. This is from P2, that is why I am bringing it up. Moving on, PCs have been fairly static in recent years. We already know this. The devices themselves are reasonably robust and can operate reliably for several years if they are handled carefully. Any PC, may it be a laptop, a desktop, or a PC, is fairly static. Devices themselves are robust. Every company is making the best possible devices that they can. So it becomes very important to make sure that we can predict the next trend, the next market growth area for the business. Because if you look at the graph over here, you'll see that it's pretty much stagnant revenue of the Lamland retail market for PCs. So if you look at the retail market, it's closely between 7 to 8 billion, only once it reached its peak at 9 billion. But otherwise, currently, and it's forecasted to also remain between, let's say 7.5 to 8 billion roughly. This is the retail market for PCs. They've not said whether it's refurbished PCs or new PCs. It's just the overall PCs market which is being showcased over here. Now, through my industry analysis, it's very clear that the refurbished market is growing. We don't know about the new market, but the refurbished market is definitely growing, and they've told us over here that the new market has relatively remained flat. So overall, Lamland's retail PC revenue is basically flat. It nudges up into 2021, then steps down again. That screams a mature, replacement-driven market. So if we look at the industry life cycle, It's very clearly a mature industry. Why are there growths and falls? Because of replacement. Because PCs are going to be needed. People have to replace them. There is a huge influx or huge growth when replacement cycle nears. So remember the characteristics of this market. It's mature and it's replacement driven. So from our E2 topics, if I look at the Porter's 5 forces, low growth intensifies price rivalry and buying power. Competition on price is going to be important. And again, if I look at the overall broader market, it's a mature market and replacement cycles are going to be key dictator of market growths and troughs. If I look at P2, life cycle costing coming into the picture, because longer device life means fewer unit sales. Resellers need to shift margin to after sales services, upgrades, repairs, refurbishment programs to keep this up. Now with flat revenue, we need to double down on direct product profitability, customer profitability analysis, all of this coming from your P2 syllabus, because we want to maximize our revenue as much as possible. We will also need to forecast better, scenario better, to avoid obsolescence when the new refurbishment cycle nears. Most individuals who need a PC already have one. If we look at the next table given to us, you'll see that 17 to 18 year olds, 90% own a PC. 18 to 24 year olds, 70% roughly own a PC. So there is high PC ownership in every single category, which clearly means that new sales will mostly be replacements or segment specific pushes. We'll have to be very clear about this in this particular market. Segmentation, very important. Figuring out which group wants what, very important. And this segmentation allows us to understand that which customer is most important for us. Those who own 85-90% of the PCs are going to be most important for us, or those above 80% will be most important for us. Above 70% will be second most important group, so on. So this helps us market better, focus better. This helps us understand the overall budgeting better. Very important over here is price elasticity as well, because students and early career buyers are more price sensitive. Mid-career buyers will be wanting better value. So this segmentation helps you with price elasticity as well. This is from your P2 syllabus. Before we move on, let me just point out the importance of creating your topic list. I'm just showing you my topic list, which will be given to my students deeper into the course. When the time is right, we will give you this topic list at the end of the pre-scene, telling you how to use it. But importance of creating your topic list is key. For example, let's say, look at P2, we noted down pricing strategy. Then my topic list will help you think, okay, what is the use case? It's about balancing volume versus profit. Then relating it to Ressett, that's what my topic list does extra. It tells you that Ressett has a low price strategy which drives sales, but we have to be consistent to control costs so that we can deliver profits for the business. So if you have a solid topic list like this, you know that, okay, I have to go back to P2 and revise pricing strategy because this is a key topic spoken about in the pre-scene. So now you have revised the topic, you have the relation to Ressett in your mind, you know the pre-scene because of my detailed pre-scene analysis. If you take these three and practice mock questions, which we will do with you, we have 25 mock questions coming for you. And let's say you write those mock questions, you get personalized feedback on each mock question. And then you go into the exam, you're ready, you're prepared because you have done all the legwork and the hard work needed. So creating your topic list is key, but if you're studying with us, you get our topic list, which is so well versed and detailed. So your thinking, your admin work gets reduced because we do all of the work for you. Let's continue, but make sure you're building your own topic list as well, even though you're going to get mine, through the course. Let's continue. So we're still learning the background of this company. You're seeing how when you do it with me in an interactive way, it sticks in your mind rather than just reading it blankly by yourself. That's the difference when you study with a tuition provider who has been registered and who has obviously won the Global Pass Rate Excellence Award 3 years in a row. That's the difference when you study with Finntutor, and this is just one of the products. All the other aspects of this course, mocks, revision, live classes, will come to you, will be discussed with you at the right moment, at the right time. Again, our goal is to genuinely be here to help you. There is no alternative motive over here. You and I only benefit if you pass this exam, and that is what the laser focus is on. So the power of a computer is determined by its components, whether it's a laptop, a desktop, or a tablet. The power is defined by the components. The first most important component is the processor. Now the processor, which can be referred to as the CPU as well, is a chip that performs the calculations required to run applications. When you click on an application, the processor is actually doing all the calculations and then opening that particular application for you. That's a chip. Faster processors make applications run faster. Some software requires relatively little from the processor. For example, word processing or reading web pages requires relatively little. But some will require high powerful processors, like playing computer games, or you have a very powerful software, video editing software, or a music editing software. This will need a very powerful processor. Some business applications also require powerful machines. For example, computer assisted design, computer assisted drawing, all of these softwares need powerful processors. So with processors as well, there is going to be segmentation, which processor used in which computer, sold to which final customer. All of this is going to be important in this market. Same way, the next technicality is the graphic card. Now the graphic card enables the PC to create and display images. The graphics processor is soldered into laptops, tablets, and some desktops. Other desktops can accommodate graphic cards that can be replaced if you require an upgrade. The graphic processor in laptops and tablets sent their output to the machine displays. Desktop graphics are connected to monitors by cable. Some applications, including game or video edition, require powerful graphic processors. So far we are learning that if I want to sell, let's say, refurbished laptops, computers in this market that we will learn, that we are learning about, but relating it to Ressett, which we'll learn about deeper in this pre-scene, Ressett will have to do something different. We'll have to stand out. Maybe our processor, graphic card configuration in my desktop or laptop which I'm selling is unique. So it's doing something different in terms of the product, in terms of selling, is going to be important, because cost and price is key in this market. We then have memory. Now PC memory provides temporary storage for software and for data. During operations, you need to store all of this data. The power of a PC is related both to the speed and the quantity of its memory. Different memory chips transfer software and data at different speeds, with faster transfers enabling faster operations. The more memory that a PC has, the less often that it has to return data to storage, and the faster it runs. So more memory, faster it runs. You would have heard about RAM, random access memory. The more RAM a computer has, the faster it runs. So desktops and laptops operating systems can multitask, meaning that more than one application can be open at once. PCs with more memory can open multiple windows. Next, we have storage. PCs have permanent storage for their operating systems. Permanent software data or other data files that you store need to be that you generate need to be stored. So data can be transferred to memory for processing, and the updated version of the file will overwrite the previous version. Some PCs use hard disk for storage. These are mechanical devices that store data on platters coated with iron oxide. Hard disks are being overtaken in popularity by solid state drives. So throughout the market, there are upgrades which are happening in software, in hardware, in PC types, all of which a refurbisher, a reseller, or like you, Ressett, has to keep in mind. The changing nature of this market is one that you'll have to be aware of. So a strong external market analysis, we've already spoken about it, Porter's 5 forces, Pestel. A strong differentiation or segmentation of this market that we've spoken about. Strong price elasticity knowledge will be important, because innovation is changing this market, every single day. Next, we have internet connection. Now, PCs contain wireless network cards that enable them to connect to Wi-Fi in the home and workplace, allowing access to web. Nowadays, if there is no access to web, that PC is pretty much useless, because everybody needs some kind of internet access. Desktops and some laptops have sockets required to connect to wired networks by cable. Wired connections are usually faster in terms of speed. The speed of the network connection does not affect the power of the PC itself, but obviously the quality of the user's experience. PC manufacturers maintain revenues by launching new and upgraded models on a regular basis. These upgrades are often intended to enable PCs to run the latest version of softwares that users wish to use. Users may not feel it necessary to buy more powerful PCs unless their existing machines are struggling to run the latest software which the user actually wants. So how is revenue maintained? Launching new models, upgrading models. First, operating systems. So what are the upgrades, or what are the latest software upgrades? Operating system upgrades. Now, operating systems consist of softwares that manages the hardware and provides an environment within which other software can operate. Every PC requires an operating system. Even if you have a tablet or if you have a laptop, you'll see regular updates which are coming up. What are these updates? This makes your experience better, and it's also going to force you to maybe upgrade your product so that you can have the latest upgrade, so that you can use the software in the best possible way. So operating system is compulsory for every PC. The software companies, see, up until now we were pretty much speaking about hardwares. Now operating system is a software. So software is also going to be a major driving factor in terms of new purchases. So the software companies who provide operating systems must consistently upgrade their software in response to security issues, viruses, hacking. And successive upgrades increase the complexity of the operating system. Eventually, it becomes necessary to launch a completely new version altogether, which would best run with new hardware, and that is why people are forced to upgrade. So in this market, substitutes are regularly coming up. Regulation and compliance, data privacy is going up again and again and again. All of this is leading to new software, and because now this software aspect has come up. Hardware manufacturers were already your major stakeholders. Software developers are also your major stakeholders, because all of this will go into a PC which you are then going to sell to your final customers. Let's say, again, another diversification idea coming to my mind from the F2 perspective now. Intangible assets. Now, operating systems are intangible assets for software firms. Let's say tomorrow we decide we are fed up of dealing with a software firm. We are developing a new internal operating system which we will put into our new refurbished laptops as a diversification strategy. So, measurement of intangible assets. What can be capitalized? What has to be expensed? The rules of IAS 38 can be easily tested with this scenario. So the topics that I'm bringing for you are testable topics, are topics which are important, can come up in different scenarios, and I'll keep discussing them with you when the time is right. Now, operating systems require PCs to meet or exceed the minimum hardware requirements. See, the hardware requirements are important, but then the software requirements in the operating system also needs to be considered in terms of processor speed, memory. New versions of operating systems may require users to either upgrade or replace their PCs in order to use the latest operating systems. It may not be advisable to continue to use outdated operating systems because the software companies who created them might not continue to support them. You can't sell a refurbished PC which has an outdated operating system, because obviously it is vulnerable to security, threats, viruses, all of this. Who's going to take responsibility for that? Something happens, you, the seller, will get questioned. So this is a risk factor which needs to be kept in mind. There are several popular operating systems for PCs. Some are designed to run on desktop and laptop computers, and others are meant for tablets only. Operating systems can be purchased separately, but they also tend to come bundled with a new PC. Generally, when you buy a new PC, the operating system comes installed because you know what you're buying as the customer. PC manufacturers usually load the latest operating systems onto computers during manufacture and include the cost in the machine. Most computer users run proprietary operating systems which are owned and licensed by companies that developed them. For example, if you buy a MacBook, you have the Apple operating system coming with it, which is licensed by Apple. If you buy a Lenovo, for example, or HP, Dell, they use Windows, which is licensed from Windows. So Windows is the operating system provider. The hardware is made by Lenovo or HP or Dell, whatever. Users usually have to pay for a license to use these operating systems. Sometimes the cost of that license is bundled into the price of a computer, like we always know. They won't give you the breakdown, but they'll say, okay, $1,000 for this laptop, everything included. And in their costing, they would have included the cost of the operating system. Now, bundling operating system with new PCs adds value. Remember this. So as a reseller, whether it's refurbished or whether it's new, you need to make sure that the right operating system is with the right hardware, because this is going to create value. These operating system developers are going to hold significant power. They have supplier power because PCs cannot run without their software. You as a reseller, if you don't, let's say you're not buying, you're buying from the manufacturer directly, but for the manufacturer, this operating system developer is going to be a major player, which eventually is a major consideration for you. So PC makers and software companies are part of an interdependent ecosystem, which you are also part of because you are selling these PCs. Now, as operating systems evolve, older hardware becomes obsolete more quickly. shortening the useful life of PCs and creating cost challenges for both manufacturers and consumers. It's good for you as a reseller because upgrades will be better, faster, so you will want to you will want to be in connection with these manufacturers and then with the operating system developers, because if new upgrades come up there is chance for replacements. But for this you will have to understand your customer, the profitability of your customer, your product channel, the channel profitability which comes from your P2 syllabus. Next, software packages. Now users usually install software packages on their PCs. Each package provides a different capability to the machine. Business software enable users to word process, build spreadsheets, for example, PowerPoint, MS Word, MS Excel, all of these are software packages. These programs are usually purchased for desktop and laptop PCs, although there are also versions that can run on tablets. Business software does not usually require powerful PCs to run, although there are exceptions. If you have computer assisted design packages, video processing software, video cutting software, music cutting software, music processing software, all of these are software bundles which require powerful PCs. So you can have your normal softwares and you can have powerful softwares. Many home users use business software for personal use. The main reason for requiring a powerful computer at home is to play games. Most games are programmed using complex algorithms that require fast processors and large amounts of memory. If a PC does not meet a game's minimum requirements in terms of power, then it will either be unable to run the game at all, or the action on the monitor will stutter, spoiling the experience. So if your software is not supported by good hardware, good processors, good hardware, then it's not going to be a good experience. So some software companies sell bundles of software packages that include a word processor, like for example you can buy MS Office. It provides all of these Word, spreadsheet, presentation, all of that in one software bundle. The most popular office software packages can be expensive. They are popular because they are often regarded as the industry standard, like MS Office. You need it. Users can exchange files with one another quickly. Some rival publishers sell cheaper software that is compatible with the industry standard and so can edit files, but obviously the original is the original. Now, in this particular market, I'm thinking of various aspects because so many players are involved. You have so many components. See, if I just do an analysis up until now, you'll see that we are only learning about the broad market. We have not even started to speak about Ressett and what Ressett does and what Ressett is. Up until now, we are only doing background of the personal computers. Okay, what are different types of personal computers? What are different kinds of hardware? What are different kinds of software? This is just industry background. From this industry background itself, we have compiled a whole bunch of E2, P2 and F2 topics. When we go to Ressett, we will narrow in on the topics and actually discuss how the topics are relevant to E2, P2 and F2. But because the way the pre-scene is laid out, first the industry background comes, first the introduction comes, then the industry background comes, and then Ressett information comes, we are following the same. For example, now, I'm thinking about P2 topics, TARA, risk management. Now let's say if businesses rely on only one type of software. Only one type of software can work on your current refurbished PCs that you sell at Ressett. But there is an operational risk if that software fails or loses support. Companies will have to think about the TARA risk framework. Because we are speaking about software over here, I thought about a software scenario. But TARA risk management can come to you in any situation. related to this market, can be used for managing risk in any situation related to this market, because there are so many permutations and combinations happening in this market. Now let's say a software firm creates a partnership. There is a scenario where a software firm creates a partnership with you as a reseller, that okay, any computers that you resell, this particular software will come pre-installed for the final customer. There can be, if any one of your directors owns or has interest in that software firm, related party disclosure can come into the position if there is significant influence in terms of a company or in terms of an individual. This is how related parties is often tested. Next, we are on to PC vendors. So to summarize, up until now we did the intro, we did our the PC market, what kind of PCs there are, like desktops, laptops, tablets, peripherals, consumables. Then we spoke about the hardware which is needed, your processors, hard disks, graphic card. Then we spoke about the softwares, major being the operating software. All of these players are going to be major stakeholders for you. So stakeholder management, conflict management, because when different stakeholders are involved, conflicts are bound to happen. So after that, we are coming to PC vendors. Now PCs can be purchased from several different sources. You can purchase direct from the manufacturer. I can go to Lenovo's website and buy it. I can purchase from retailers. I can go to a shop and buy a Lenovo laptop. I can purchase it online, marketplaces where used PCs are generally sold. And I can buy it from resellers as well, who sell new as well as used PCs. Ressett specifically fits in this reseller category, where we are selling refurbished as well as new. First, we'll consider manufacturers. Most manufacturers of PCs and peripherals have direct sales channels that enable consumers to purchase products online. This is obviously better for them. Customers may be offered the opportunity to specify the components that will be used to build their PCs, while software checks that customer selections are compatible. You can go to a manufacturer's website, choose the hardware that you want, choose your use, they'll suggest the best laptop for you. Alternatively, some manufacturers offer specific models that are optimized for particular tasks, ranging from internet browsing to gaming. Manufacturers will often mass produce popular models, which enables them to reduce the costs and also be responsive to corporate customers. So manufacturers are the people who actually make the laptops, make the PCs rather. So this is the direct sales channel for them. So from the manufacturer's perspective, they have a lot of advantages in terms of economies of scale, good supply chain management, good, let's say, buying power. They have all of this going for them, which is an important consideration in the manufacturer's segment. So first place a customer can go to buy the PC from is manufacturers, and this will be cheaper for the customer as well in some cases, because there is no middle person involved. So first is manufacturers. Continuing, manufacturers' websites usually offer support in the selection of a PC or peripherals that is suited to the customer's needs. More powerful machines generally cost more than those with a lower specification, and customers often appreciate guidance. Goods sold through direct channels are often discounted slightly, although those discounts are not significant. Manufacturers will not wish to risk alienating the retailers who stock their products by undercutting them significantly. They also have to maintain their relationship with retailers. Manufacturer sells new PCs and peripherals both. Now, for a manufacturer, providing guidance to help customers select the right PC builds value. So you act as a reseller in the reseller category will also have to make sure that you are creating value for the customer when the customer is buying from you. This is an important consideration when we are especially speaking about manufacturers, but relating it to the reseller category, which we'll speak about in detail when we get there. So if you just look at part 1 that we have done up until now, has a whole bunch of topics, and the topic list will be provided by us at the end of the entire pre-scene analysis, listing down a very much summarized important topic area for you, relating it to Ressett, so you know how to think of it, you know how to revise it. Because straight away now, let's say for example, you can go to P2 and revise different pricing strategies. And then you'll know that, okay, we have to balance volume versus profit. And then you'll also know that Ressett's low price strategy drives sales, but must still cover costs and deliver sustainable profits. When we go deeper into the pre-scene, we'll see that, okay, we use a low price strategy. So now when you're doing your revision of different pricing strategies, you know that, okay, cost leadership is what we are following. What are the other pricing methods? Differentiating pricing, or let's say premium pricing, loss leader pricing. What are the different pricing strategies? If you study this from P2, this then gives you very focused revision insights. Same way, next topic, you'll do supply chain management. Then you'll do risk management. Into product life cycle. This way, a whole bunch of topics is created by us. Its use case and its relation to Ressett has been created by us for you, which we'll give to you obviously for the students that are studying with us. And this is only from part 1. Same will be done for part 2. Same will be done for part 3. And we'll have a strong list of revision topics related to Ressett, which we'll know what to learn, what to follow, what to go through, and this will shape your study in a much better way. And again, those who are studying with us, you have FinAI. You just have to pick the topic, put it into FinAI. FinAI will give you an entire explanation of the topic related to Ressett, so your life becomes so much easier. So all the topics that I discussed with you have been listed down over here from part 1 to make it a successful learning and to make it an approach where we not only went through and learned something new, but we also related to E2, P2 and F2 before moving on. So that brings me to the end of part 1. At the end of part 1, we want to be very certain that we've understood the use of this pre-scene. Number 1, it helps us understand our company. You see how informative it is, how communicative it is to keep it interesting for you. Number 2 and 3 rather, it relates to E2, P2 and F2 important topics. The topic list I already showed you, how comprehensive this approach is, making sure that we deal with all aspects, not leaving out anything for you. Part 2 is going to be our detailed analysis of the operations of the business. Part 3 is going to be a detailed financial analysis. So all together, you will have a solid topic list, you'll have solid understanding of the business, which can be very beneficial to carry into mock question writing, which is going to be the next step. So that was part 1. Just be very comfortable with part 1. And if you have found it helpful, you can sign up by going on to our MCS page. Go to finnutors.com/MCS. We have our on-demand course, so the full course if you want to be part of live lessons with me. Sign up to one of our courses. Access is instant. If you have any questions, you can directly email me on help@finnutors.com. Somebody from the team will get back to you and give you a personalized response because we are here to help you. The full pre-scene analysis, full mock questions will ensure that you have a positive learning experience because we are CIMA tuition providers who hold the Global Pass Rate Excellence Award for 3 years in a row now. So we are confident that this course will help you do well on the exam. Thank you for being here. Good luck.